We all know the story of the Prophet Yusuf, where he was left behind and forgotten, and there was no one to come to his aid. But Allah remembered him, and he had others come to help him and provided a means for him to alleviate his trial. And that is how CAIR came to our aid as well. CAIR has always, listened to my cry, to listen to my pain, and they have come to my aid in helping us, not only with my husband's trial, but also mine as well.
There really is no other resource here in Chicago like CAIR-Chicago, because we are a one-stop shop basically for every type of discrimination that comes through the community here.
We are the first responders to things like immigration, assistance, asylum, any kind of discrimination that people may face.
In this country, we have rule of law, which means that everyone is entitled to rights under the Constitution. However, we see countless cases of people being discriminated against, even by government actors, even by people who want to discriminate against people because of where they're from or what their beliefs are. At CAIR-Chicago, we seek to fight for the rights of Muslim Americans so we can ensure that everyone is held to the same standard of the law.
No one should be forced into accepting being mistreated, talked down to, have their humanity downplayed, have opportunities taken away from them, have to change who they are, relinquish any part of their beliefs or their identity in order to be accepted, in order to have a chance in this society. Whether it is in education, in housing, in jobs, in government, in travel, while driving a car. And so long as that is forced upon segments of our population, including Muslims, and we're specific to that group, we will stand up and say, no way, not on our watch. And so we help our community members ensure that they can live proud, happy, fulfilled lives while Muslim, without having to compromise on any aspect of their identity or beliefs.
My name is Muhammad Mahmoud. Where I working with CAIR-Chicago it was a smooth process. I felt that I'm back with my family, where I need support. I can just text someone or call someone. Having CAIR-Chicago approaching both personal and legally to support me in both, that was what made me restore faith in humanity. It changed me mentally, it improved my mental health.
We get a lot of calls on a daily basis, and it's really important for me to be that front line of communication for people who need assistance. There are a lot of Islamic values that are in activism. I think it's important that we center that and that we remember that. The first one being the commitment to social justice and the commitment to supporting one another.
CAIR-Chicago is the first stop for media to understand the different perspectives and issues that Muslim Americans face.
CAIR-Chicago called for more security and more awareness about the conflict.
Muslim kids are especially vulnerable right now, and to understand the need for security at schools.
This is a conversation we're just going to have. I mean, there is a cognitive dissonance that we're experiencing here. Ironically, just before this segment discussing the brutalizing of this family, there was a segment discussing the potential imminent threat from the Muslim community. And it's reports like that this evil man was watching, and he got radicalized by the coverage of the media that has been consistently lopsided and one-sided, not unlike, frankly, what I'm seeing on CNN and other networks, statements from politicians. And this caused this man, who otherwise had been normal, to flip, become radicalized, become a monster. So I think we need to not dissociate how we talk about the issues, how we dehumanize Palestinians, how we erase their suffering, from how certain people flip and radicalize and commit these crimes.
I think your point is certainly not lost on me, and particularly the way that we speak about, in a detached way it might appear.
As much as we can collectively condemn terrorism, we must collectively condemn war crimes, shutting off of water, electricity, food, bombing of hospitals. We need to have an adult conversation. We have a cartoonish atmosphere right now in which we demonize an entire population and make them ripe for the killing.
He hit the nail on the head in terms of how a lot of us are struggling to find ways to talk about what's happening in the Middle East and how it's being said and what the focus is, and whether it's demonization or information, how does it all come out?
A Chicago activist group says many Muslim students have been the victims of bullying because of their race and religion.
But they are on a mission to stop it.
Civil rights group is launching a new anti-bullying project. Chicago chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, says some students feel their complaints aren't being taken seriously by school officials.
Today, the organization launched a new anti-bullying effort called Hillsters.org to put a stop to what organizers say is an uptick in bullying cases.
And in that project, we basically make ourselves available to students who have been experiencing bullying, whether it's by school administrators or staff or teachers, or by students. When they go to school, they should feel safe. They should feel like they can learn in a safe environment and not be abused or subjected to harassment on a regular basis.
CAIR-Chicago prides itself on working with interns to allow them to foster their different skills and aspirations and passions to help CAIR-Chicago ultimately meet their mission, which is to, again, fight Islamophobia in America.
CAIR-Chicago has graduated over 1,000 interns from all walks of life. Interns, they do the bulk of our work, honestly.
I think CAIR-Chicago is an important organization because there is not enough people doing nonprofit work in especially immigration, but also in any sort of discrimination against minorities, harassment of minorities work.
As a Muslim woman that wears hijab, I get stares and they'll just say rude comments. And so I think just this space in general makes me feel I can, just be myself without any judgment, and then also help other Muslim women out there who, probably face the same thing as me every single day.
We're here to fight with you along the entire course until you get your justice.
CAIR-Chicago is the only Muslim civil rights organization in the state of Illinois, and certainly in the city of Chicago.
CAIR-Chicago has experienced and passionate attorneys working every single day to make sure that your rights are protected.
We're only as strong as our ability to fight for our rights.
If I don't stand up for somebody else, I shouldn't expect anybody else to stand up for me.
CAIR has helped our family in so many ways. We are taught to fight for injustices across the world. Not many come to our aid when we are in need. CAIR made a difference. They always let us know that they are there, and so we are grateful and hopeful knowing that we have someone who can help us through the many difficulties and trials that we face.